Hi everyone, welcome to yet another Brahmas YouTube video. And today we're going to be answering a question from Pat from the UK, who asks, how much of a story do you have in mind before you were writing it? That's a really good question. Okay, so just briefly, Dave and I are published authors of 6 nonfiction books. We have a trilogy coming up that is actually honoring Dave's late father's lifetime collection of poetry, short stories, and photographs, and family memoirs. And so the next one after that is also a nonfiction book, and the one after that is going to be a collection of our short stories, fictional short stories. So we mostly have written in the nonfiction genre simply because that is just where our work has been pulling us. But we do also dabble in the nonfiction and of course poetry as well. Now, just stating that so you have a little bit more of an idea as to the genre of what we write, but no matter what we write, generally speaking, this is how it goes. So I'm going to start taking down notes about the project, where Dave and I will be talking about, oh, this is a good idea for a book or an article. And then we start talking about what the topic is going to be, what some of the general focus might be, some of the ideas that we might have for it, prospective titles, anything that appeals to us, some of the wording that we might want to consider using. We'll be looking, if something strikes us while we're doing our communications, oh yeah, we should use this color or this theme or this font, we might want to make a note of that. We also want to look at the different topic points we want to cover, and we want to think about who the reader is going to be or might be, and how we're going to go about reaching them with this particular message. What kind of content are they going to be looking for? And then that's really the beginning of just the discussion and creative dialogue that we have about a project. We'll have a couple of meetings about it. We'll be writing down some notes, creating a general, brief outline. We'll do what I call barfing on the page, which I know sounds terrible, but that's the term that I use. And basically it is just that. We just take down all the ideas and thoughts that we have about that particular project, dump it all on the page. I'm not going to worry about whether it flows from one paragraph, or even if it's a paragraph, or even if it's a complete sentence. I'm just dumping it all on the page. I worry about that later, because slowly over the idea creation time period, the meetings that we have in this barfing stage, I start to see a pattern forming. I start to see a plan take form. I start to see like a general flow of content, maybe how the chapters are going to move from into the next chapter, that kind of thing. And then I start, the whole researching, the gathering of information, the correlating it into the best draft, really rough draft manuscript that I can come up with. Then we bring that together and we both evaluate it. We see what's going on. We discuss problem areas, difficult, concerns, any of those kinds of things. And then I go back to the drawing board. I put that information in place. I make the changes that we've discussed. I do any further research or fine tuning or tweaking. And then I write that general outline. I tweak that a little bit better so that Dave has something to follow when he's doing his final edits and proofs and proofreadings and all those, things, that magic that he does. And then out, it lists the chapters, tentative chapter titles, tentative chapter content, things like that, again, so that he has something to follow. And then once it's tweaked and written as best as I can do, I make sure that the computer grammar is turned on, and I do all my edits from my end. I give it to him with that general outline map, and then Dave takes it on, does his magic to it. If he's going to do like major changes, he'll discuss it with me. Hey, I'm thinking about this. Maybe we should just delete this chapter altogether. Any of that kind of content that is a little bit more dramatic, then he'll come and talk with me about it. Otherwise, he knows that I absolutely trust his abilities, and he can just go forth into his creative, work from there. That's kind of how we go about writing each and every article or poem or book or project or short story that we're working on. Generally speaking, it's very difficult to say from each project, this is exactly how we work, this is our formula. It varies with each time, each process, and depending on who's taking the reins, if I'm the main lead on the writing, or if Dave's the main lead on that writing project. So it does vary again, but just generally speaking, hopefully that answers your question. Pat from the UK, thank you for that question. We'll be back soon with more answers to your questions.